Hey, hey, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal podcast. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harden. Glad to be back with a new and incredible episode. It is week two of the Women History Month series. And glad to have a couple of great guests coming up this week. And I have one waiting in the wings. Looking forward to bringing her on in a few. But before we get started, hit my music. Let's get it. All right. Once again, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal podcast. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harding. Like I said, glad to be back with my second week two of my Women's History Month series, where I feature and highlight incredible women in the content creation, sports, business, journalism, media. I got, like I said, I have incredible guests waiting in the wings. But before I bring her in, you can follow the show on all the podcast platforms, whether it is Apple, Spotify, we're on YouTube, BS3 Network, BS3 Live, BS3TVLive.com, BS3 Network, Roku channel, iHeartRadio, wherever you consume podcasts. We are there. And also you can follow me on all the social media platforms, most active on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also on TikTok and Blue Sky. So let me bring in my guest on the show for the first time. As I said, we're highlighting her this week, and I'm like very excited. Met her on Instagram, and we kind of just chatted a little bit. And I said, "Hey, I want to bring you on and highlight you on my Women's History Month series." And she was game for it, so I'm very excited to have her on. Trisha Self, she is a entrepreneur, a realtor, professional golf instructor, former golf athlete, also SGS co-founder, the Secret Golf Society co-founder as well. So let me bring her onto the stage, bring her into the show. Trisha Self, welcome to the show. Really appreciate it. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Hi.
Clicking on the wrong button. There she is. Trisha Self back guys on the show. Thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it. I think I lost you. Hold on. Technical issues. Don't see her on video. We'll bring her back on. But yes, she's a professional golf instructor. We'll get her back on. Probably some technical issues. I know she said there might be a storm coming too. So, but yes, she is a entrepreneur, realtor, professional golf instructor. Again, the Secret Golf Society co-founder. We're gonna get into all of her everything here. There we go.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened, but
I don't know what
that
happened.
was a grand entrance.
Yes, we got the entrance. Yes, hey, this is a podcast. It's technical issues happen.
They
it's
do.
all good. Yes, but Trisha, welcome to the show. Really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here today and talk a little bit about women's history and a little bit of my background. And yes.
I'm excited. I'm very excited to have you on. And like I said, we the algorithm of Instagram found your page. Somehow I think we follow some of the same people, and it just popped in. And like I said, reached out. We followed each other, reached out, and here we are. So again, I thank you for doing this. We set the time for it and everything. So first question I always ask my first time guest: who is Trisha Self, and how did you get into sports, golf, and all that where you are today?
Well, just like everybody that is in this industry of sports and entrepreneurship and everything, I began early on, actually. I come from a family out in Colorado. I have two brothers. I'm the middle of the two brothers. We were a very active family. We camped, we hiked, we biked, we skied, you name it, we were always doing it. So golf kind of fell into being active and outside out there. My oldest brother actually is handicapped, and my mom and dad wanted to get him involved in a sport, and I was the tag along. So we started in a junior golf camp back when I was 9 years old.
Okay.
And my brother is actually really great at the game of golf on a fun level. But I actually really ran with it, and I connected pretty well with the sport very early on. So it became a family thing. And then as time went on, I kept competing. I competed at a junior level out in Colorado. Then went to high school and competed on the high school level and made it to states. And I was at the point where things were connecting so well that I was able to get a D1 scholarship, and I played at Colorado State for 4 years.
Wow.
And that was a wonderful experience. I'm still to this day friends with a lot of the girls on my team. We're dispersed all over the country now.
Yeah.
But so I took it from just like a fun family event and continued to progress over the years to playing D1. And once I graduated from Colorado State, I had a health and exercise science degree, and it was kind of one of those things. Do I go down that path or do I continue with golf? And I was actually one of those athletes that I was always good at the game, but my game spiked and really started to take off my senior year when I was playing collegiate golf. So I started the professional world and I started competing. I got involved on the developmental tour for the LPGA and played that for several years. And I went and tried for the LPGA, and I just was like right there. And it
Yeah.
was, what is that next level to get there? And man, just like everybody, you're trying to strive to be like one of the amazing pros on circuit. But
Right.
I also knew that in the background, I loved teaching. I almost went into being a teacher at Colorado State, but their program didn't work with our practice schedule. So that's why I
Yeah.
went down the health and exercise science route. But to say the least, I got into teaching. And I actually was married. I got married pretty young, and I started teaching at a really great golf academy out in Colorado. And that was a spectacular experience. And then my husband's job brought us to Pittsburgh. So in 2010, we moved here to Pittsburgh. I actually still live here to this day.
Yeah.
And it's one of those journeys where life takes you. And I can't believe the opportunities I've had out here with meeting so many spectacular people in the golf industry, but especially how saturated Pittsburgh is with women. They just love the game out here. So I
Yeah.
started teaching at an academy out here when we moved here. And also did, it was a fitness program that brought in health and exercise science and golf. And I ran a circuit class, and I sprinkled Pilates in there. So you name it, I was doing it in the
You
golf
did it.
industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wanted to be a mom, and I had the opportunity to step away for several years, and I was at home raising my kids. I still kept playing golf. I still kept connections with everybody that I had met in the industry. However, I took some time away, and that's where my real estate kind of kicked in. I got into real estate and did flips with my husband. That was a really neat experience. I love real estate. It's a really, really great industry to be involved with still to this day. So here I am today, and golf kept calling me back. And that's just the name of the game. You connect.
Yep.
People were like, when are you going to start teaching again? And I said, you know what? Now. So here I am. My kids are, 12 and 10, almost 13 and 11.
Right.
They're getting in the game. So I'm really, really enjoying the stage of life, just being back into the game, teaching. And then there's just so many other things that are kind of being pulled in the mix with the game of golf too. So yeah.
No, that's a great journey, and that's a great story. No, it's a great journey because I love hearing different journeys, how, the profession you're in, or, how you got to where you are
Mhm.
today and everything too. So my next question would be balancing the roles of
I'm
that.
sorry. I have a furry friend here.
Right. So
This is Billy.
hi there. I hears a different voice. So I guess he's probably thinking, gotta protect just to make sure everything is fine.
You're
And,
live. You never know what's going to come into the
yes,
room.
absolutely. You never know. I love that. You just never know what happens. And it's a live podcast. So
Yep.
balancing roles, I think that's
Mhm.
a key thing, So you said you're a mother, wife.
Yeah.
You said you were an instructor, fitness coach. You played at the highest level and things like that. How do you balance that? And also real estate as well. How do you balance and what's your like your day to day? I'm sure it's different each and every week,
Yeah.
but how is your day to day balancing all those things that you do? I say you stay busy, so
Yeah.
that's a really good thing.
Well, I'm going to bring a little bit of golf philosophy into the
Yeah.
works
Okay.
here.
Okay. Yeah.
So, for the word balanced, I really have to embrace day by day. And yes,
Yeah.
you'll have things on the calendar and you see events
Mhm.
ahead and you have things to look forward to. But if I don't wake up that day and I have a checklist, I mean, I have everything from obviously our household runs and we have kids and we have that whole entity. So you have that box, and then I love to work out. I like to get my workout in because it makes me
Yes.
feel good. It keeps me young. I strive on doing that for the mental aspect of it. And then I love reading. I spend some time in the Word. My faith is a big part of my life, so that's a balance.
Yeah.
And also eating. I know when my body doesn't like something. I choose to decide what calories I'm going to intake.
Mm.
It all has an effect on me. But anyhow, all these little things, I have these boxes, and I go through the day, and I don't just like do them. I say, okay, that was a check for the day. And some days, you fall short, but you gotta have those days where you kind of regroup. And but
Yes.
it's the check boxes. I am a very balanced person overall. So where I was bringing this into with the game of golf is when you're out there playing the game of golf, you have to take each hole as it comes. You can't look at the bottom line and say, I'm going to shoot 72 today. No, 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 no. You have to take that very first hole, the
Right.
very first shot of the day, and you have to play it and you have to be present. So balance is really about being present for me. That's the best way to describe. Yep.
Yes, and that's like you said. You're shifting through, as you said, with everything you're doing as a mother and as a
Mm-hmm.
wife, and then also part of the you said the golf and you said it brought you
Mm-hmm.
right back in. So you couldn't
Mm-hmm.
really like say separate it, and now your
Yep.
kids are involved too with it. So golf has been a part of you for all your life. You said basically as well. So when it comes to that, as you said, you played at the highest level
Mm-hmm.
and try it out and everything too. Do you continue to pursue that, or is just more about the teaching aspect? Do you like I say my question would be, do you like teaching more or playing more?
Um, you know, I think I went through the seasons in life. No matter what, I have that competitive spirit in me.
Yes.
I love to play. I love to. My kids are involved with sports. I'm a great cheerleader on the sidelines for them. I love watching football. I love watching other sports on TV. So that competitive nature is definitely always going to be in
Stays
me.
there.
Now, as
Yeah.
far as like the revolve of playing at the highest level, I feel at this time in life where my focus is teaching. However, with that, it comes where I get to play with my students. I get to be involved in events. I get to really enjoy golf at another level. But it's fun because at this stage you play in events, and it might not be an LPGA tour event, but it might be a local club event that you're invited to,
Mhm.
and they always have a game they're playing. There's always going to be something that's on the line, and so that kind of brings out another season for me in golf. Now, heck, as I keep growing in the game and my kids keep playing, we'll be out on the golf course more. Hey, the thing with the game of golf is you're never too old to start the game. So as you play, you're never too old to keep continuing to play the game. So I'll embrace what comes to me. If my game hits a level that's unexpected, hey, I'm open to competing higher levels.
Yeah, yeah. Like you said,
Yeah.
you never lost that,
Right.
as you said, competitive edge when you play, say you play professionally or at that level. So they said that's never gone away. So now that you're teaching and helping others master their game, what's the favorite parts of teaching golf to you?
Um, I love working. and seeing the light bulbs go on in my clients' brains. Everyone learns differently. Most people are very visual learners. So anything I can bring to the table that helps them see something, no matter what, is going to help them. But so if I'm meeting a student for the very first time, it's almost, I don't want to say it's like a date, but it's really, you're going in there and you are learning about how that person learns. If somebody is a beginner in golf, I am going to work with them different than somebody that is more experienced in the game, the way that I say things, the way that I start the whole session. So it's really finding out where they are, adapting to them personally so that they can get the most out of my lesson. And really, it's really a catering moment where what I do with one student might not work for another student. So you really have to, sometimes you say, so say sometimes we're working on a skill. I could be working with them and we're working on that one thing, but I'm saying it a million different ways to see if they have the aha moment. So that as a teacher is real important to have that in your basket of tools and knowledge.
Yeah, right, right. And then you're teaching again, like you said, there's always different aspects of that
Mm-hmm.
game, of the game of
Mm-hmm.
golf, the mental part of it. And
Yep.
and you talked about this earlier about saying, hey, you might have a goal of, okay, I'm gonna shoot a 72, but then might not reach that goal. But as we know, I watched golf for a long time myself. Don't play, but I watch it and I want to get into it, though, especially
You're never
myself.
too old.
I know, as you said, never too old. Right, right. Never too old. I'm in my mid-40s, so never too old.
You're
So
perfect age.
okay. So yes, I love it. I love watching. I love the mental part of it and everything too. But as you said, someone that has played and teach, how much would you say is the mental part? I've heard different
Oof.
percentages, but I've heard it's 80-20, but you gotta have the physical, as you said, you gotta, be fit and everything too. But it's a lot of mental. So for you, how much of a percentage, if you could put a percentage on, is more mental than physical?
I mean, somebody that's a beginner is going to struggle with the mental side in a different way than somebody
Yeah.
that's playing at a professional level.
Mm.
When I was playing at a really high professional level, the person that would come in and win that event was A+ in their mental that tournament, and their putting was crazy amazing. Everyone can hit the ball in the middle of the fairway. Everyone can hit on the green. Who's going to get close and drain the putts, and who can withstand the mental pressure? Those were the girls that were winning the events. So that mental side of it, oh my goodness. I mean, you're out there practicing your skills. I want to say it's almost feels like 90% of the game when you're at that level.
Yeah.
Now, when you're beginning, you're focused on a lot more of the confident level. You don't have the history put into making that shot. So you're stuck kind of in the learning mental part where you're processing. And so us as instructors are really trying to have you focus on the mental side of focus on if you have 10 shots and you hit 1 out of 10 good, you got to soak that in, you got to absorb that, because as you get more experience it flips, right? But us as humans, we like to always pay attention to the negative.
Yeah.
It's our nature. And so when you can start flip-flopping it, and even if you're a beginner, if you're playing at a really high competitive level, it's learning how to really, really soak in the good stuff. So, I mean, to say the least, I definitely would say across the board, 80% is mental. But when you're learning the game, you're still learning the skills. So,
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes total sense because you see, like you said, you see it even from from professional to amateur.
uh,
It is, as you said, it is a lot mental because you're battling the mental aspects of it of the game throughout the course,
mhm.
trying to figure out the course, the winds, the wind speed, and the scrambling, all these things that are going through your mind. But as you said, you still got at the end of the day, you still got to make shots, still got to make putts,
Yeah.
and the more you make putts, you said sometimes it's like you gotta get rid of that. If you have a bad, you say a double bogey, triple bogey, you have to go to the next hole, the next hole, the next hole. So it is like more mental. You're playing mental aspect. But a important point you did bring up, that I enjoy that you said about, yes, us as humans, you're thinking, okay, if you make 1 out of 10 shots, we're so analytical about it. Oh, I know I could
Yes.
have made. I knew I could have made that second shot. I knew I could make that third shot. But as you said, you got it's like the memory. You got it's like short term
Yeah.
memory. You got to just you have to just like get rid of that and go to the next, get to the next hole, get the next shot.
Mhm.
So for sure.
I always tell my students, and I've said this to multiple people before, golf is all about how good are your miss hits.
Mm,
And when you're at a
yeah,
professional level, your miss hits are pretty dang good.
yeah,
Some days you might sprinkle in that one that just catches you out of the loop because maybe the pressure gets to you. Now, when you're learning the game, you have more miss hits, but you're still, how good are your miss hits? It's all about, um, you're never going to hit the ball perfect for an entire 18 holes, but how good are those miss hits that day?
yeah, yeah, absolutely, yes. And all the people that you've had taught, you've taught over the years and
Hmm.
things like that. What's like one of your favorite, or what's a thing that you would say that makes you feel good? That's like, oh my goodness, you teach your students, they say, and they hit a big shot, or anything like that. What's the most rewarding thing to you when you see something like that of teaching students?
Um, Well, one, when I get feedback, I'll get clients that will
Yeah,
email me or text me and tell me about how it's finally connecting. Because when you're doing a lesson, you're processing, you're trying to understand your body's like, what are you doing? You're trying to feel the swing, you're trying to feel the mechanic. Sometimes it happens during the lesson. I strive to get that connection for my students during a lesson. And I will go around in circle until that light bulb comes out. I would rather a student leave knowing, okay, I've hit a few shots, understanding exactly what I need to work on. For that, for feeling that positive reinforcement from them, it definitely is the feedback they give me, and then how do I adjust to where their light bulb is. So
yeah,
you are, the thing is this game, you are never going to stop learning.
mm, yeah,
I have some great friends in the industry, and sometimes we'll play and I'll be like, why am I hitting this like this? And they're like, well, your ball position's off today. So
yeah.
but yes, I it's really it's really working with them so that when they leave that lesson, they have an agenda so that they can really spend their own time processing the information they learned in a lesson.
Wow, yeah, it's like you said. I guess when you're teaching them, as you said, that one on one, and
Hmm.
to see the progression, I'm assuming that's very very rewarding. To see, you said that light bulb I hit, and there just to see an improvement
Hmm.
just over weeks and weeks and weeks of practicing
Yeah.
and really teaching them. That I'm sure that's one of the most rewarding things for as an instructor to have.
Hmm. The
So
one other thing I add to that is through my lessons, starting from the early stages of when I work with them, I really try to get some video in for their
mm,
learning
mhm,
progress, because they can think that they're doing one thing and then you see it and you're like, oh my goodness, okay. And then they get that video and then they get to see a month from there or 6 weeks from there. However, wow, I made that improvement. Sometimes it only takes 5 minutes and there's an improvement. So
yeah.
that visualness that students need, the video aspect of it is huge.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and then they're able to, you said, to check to see, they said that improvement through video, and
Hmm.
you have it on tape. You
Yep.
said you have it
Yep.
on video. So now here, yes, now you can see where you've improved over the course of how long it takes, and now you're hitting a driver couple
Hmm.
hundred yards now. So it's like there it is. So speaking of like different aspects of the game
Yeah.
and everything of your game, your own personal game, what was your favorite part of your own professional game? Was it driving? Is it putting? Is it scrambling? And what's your least favorite part of your game?
That's a great question.
Mhm.
I would say that I have always been a very consistent person off the tee box.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
may not be the longest hitter, but I will always be in the middle of the fairway. At one point, I actually was ranked in college. I think I was ranked like 4
Oh,
in the
wow.
nation
Yeah.
for most fairways hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that aspect of it. And then same with my hybrids. I love my hybrids. When I have one of them in my hand, I feel like it's like my golden stick. So the approach shots to the green. I'm very consistent from hitting in the fairway to getting on the green. Now, I would say my least favorite aspect would be those difficult short game shots that unless you
Mm,
continually practice them,
yeah.
it's very easy to lose confidence in them. When we were in college and playing on that professional level, the short game was all we practiced. I mean, it was almost like hitting your head against the wall. Okay, this is your 50-yard shot today, 40-yard shot. I try to preach that to my students too.
Yeah.
But in the long run, the shot where you're having to fly over a bunker and you have a tucked, those tricky shots. But the more creative you get, the more you work on your least favorite aspect of the game, it does get better. So.
Yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
creativity, as you said, that's the, some of those golfers that are very creative when it comes to those type of
Mhm.
shots, those scrambling type of shots. When they said they get into a difficult situation, it's like, okay, got to be very creative of how I'm going to
Mhm.
get this either on the green or at least near the hole. But as you said,
Yeah.
your accuracy was, you said your one of your favorite parts of it is being accurate off the tee and everything too. So it seemed like
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of golfers too, just listening and watching of
Mhm.
and everything. They say sometimes you say hitting it straight. You say you hit it long, but as long as you hit it straight and on the fairway,
You're
accurate,
playable.
you're very playable.
You're very playable.
Yeah, yeah,
um, One thing I will say that as my game continued to improve and get better and really be on a competitive level, the word creative that you just said, that was where you really need that in your game. You have to be so, sometimes you have to be so creative in your mind, but you have to be specific and detailed because if you have the skills, if you have the techniques to swing, to putt, to chip, if you have that all inside your game already, and you're trying to really fine tune your score at that point, it all comes down to how visual are you getting in your brain. Okay, so the shot that I just explained that I don't prefer to have, the one that's
mhm,
over the bunker to a tight pin. Okay. Um, if you don't sit there and visualize that shot
yeah,
going up in the air perfectly to the point where you see like a red line going up in the air, to seeing how your club face brushes through the grass. If you don't visualize the feel of how you want to hit that shot over, so all that stuff that you're giving to your body, brain, positive feedback, as soon as you step over that ball, the only thing you're thinking about is that visualization that you've taken a minute to do. If you don't sit there and you don't have a visualization of what you want to have happen, you're going to end up in the bunker. You're going to end up
mhm,
in the spot where you don't want to be. So you have to have plans for your game. You really have to see it before you do it. And if you don't see it, then you should not be hitting the ball yet.
yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
Don't if you don't see it, as you
Yeah.
say, visualizing again, part of the mental game you were talking about earlier is
Hmm.
it's you got to visualize that. Okay, got to have confidence that you're able to hit it over that bunker into those
Hmm.
tight pin, tight windows, as they say, and being able to at least get it near there. Now you have maybe a 2 foot putt or 3 foot putt. It's
Yes.
like okay, so but it's they said it's all about practice, practice, practice.
Yes.
That's the main
Yes.
thing.
100%.
That's the main thing. All right, all right. Well, all right. Just got a couple more before I let you go. I'm enjoying,
Yeah,
really enjoying this
I know.
conversation
We
and
could
everything.
probably talk all day.
I know we probably could. I know, and I know we both probably have things to do. Except we could talk for hours on something like this, but for sure. But you are the co-founder
Yes.
of um the Secret Golf Society. Talk about what that is. Yes, Secret Golf Society. Yes, yes, it's a secret. Talk about what that is, and
Hmm.
I see it's on Instagram and
Hmm.
content creation. It looks like it's about content
Yeah.
creation, things like that. But talk about what that entails.
So this is a really fun story. So back in the beginning of this podcast, you asked me about my journey in golf. Okay,
Yeah.
so I started at a clinic at a camp with my brother who's handicapped. And we started at a summer camp, and the
Mm.
head pro um, was actually the father of the founder of Secret Golf Society. His name was Pat Tate, and his daughter Ashley Tate, who's the co-founder that we are involved with the Secret Golf Society. He was the very first professional that taught me. And I met Ashley back when I was probably about 11 years old, and we started playing junior golf together. I'm a few years older, so there was a time where I was actually driving her to golf tournaments, and we
Yeah.
would always connect from college. I was playing while she was still in college, so we always would come together and play golf. And then when I was finished doing the touring and had kids, she was actually doing the touring, have kids, and she would come and stay at my house during events. And um, we would have we had a long life friendship. And fast forward, she ended up getting married. I was in her wedding. And then she's now had a few kids, and I have my kids and family. But she calls me last summer, and she goes, "Hey, I have this idea." And I was just getting back into teaching because for the longest time I was home and doing real estate and things like that. And so when she saw I was back into the golf industry, she calls me and she told me about her idea. And I said, "Ashley, this is amazing. I want to be a part of it. Let's work together and create this." So we worked very hard. The company launched in January, and a little bit about the Secret Golf Society is it is a women's community.
Mm.
It's for women golfers, beginners, advanced. We are welcoming all. However, we do want to vet you. We want to know who you are. We want to know things that you like about the golf industry. We want to know your favorite color. We want to know a course that you dream about playing someday. We want to get to know you on a personal level. So there is a little bit of an interview process just because we want to make sure we know who's in our community. But
Yeah.
the idea is all these women are from all over the country, actually the world. And then we have pros. We have professional instructors, LPGA, PGA, and they are within our community, and they are there for our members. It is a member-based community. And they're there to, we do webinars, podcast events. We have golf retreats lined up. We have golf schools lined up.
Oh,
We also will be featuring a lot of just really amazing instruction for our members. And then upon that, we have a shop within the community, and it's a pro shop, and it's going to feature some of the most exclusive and wonderful brands out there for women. When I wear something and a woman likes it, they're like, "Where did you get that?" And I will be like, "Well," so
there
it's
it
called
is.
Birdie
Yeah.
Mama. This is our little logo for the pro shop.
Okay. Yeah.
So it is online, but it's also if you're in the community, there's discounts that our members get. So it's really a hub for women to go to that love the game of golf, and they'll get a chance to meet people from all over the world and experience the journey of golf. Mhm.
I like that. And as you said on on the Instagram bio, created for women who want more from the game.
Mhm.
So it's, as you said, it's more of a, like I said, a community, giving back to the community,
Yeah.
and bring women together. He said that love. He said love the game of golf and beyond that as well, off the course as well. So it's just tremendous. What that entails and what it's about. And it's all about, like I said, connecting and networking. That's the
Yes.
biggest thing, and I think that's the a great thing about social media is that networking and having a community that can bring people together in a great way. And I think that's
Mhm.
amazing what you guys what you're doing with this. That's so congratulations on that.
Thank
That's
you.
yeah,
Yeah,
that is
it's
tremendous.
it's been really fun to see it all come together, and it's at your fingertips. There's an app on your phone, and you pull it right up, and bam, you got everything that you need in the golf industry. And it's going to be fun to really watch it grow. We're listening to our members, see what things we need to add, see what things they want from it. And yes, it's another part of the journey of golf that I'm excited to be diving into.
Yeah. It's just evolving. That's
Evolving. Hmm.
very evolving and
Hmm.
everything too. And
And
talk
I
and
get to work with one of my best friends, which is
yeah, yeah.
awesome.
That's always great. That's always
Yeah.
great when you're working with people that you've known for a long time, one
Hmm.
best friend and everything too. And again, having that community continue to help evolve the game of golf and even for yourself too. It's wonderful. Speaking of that, networking, you were at the PGA show.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known about the. I mean, I did, and then I saw it. It's like, oh man, it would have been great to see. I was in Orlando, but it was a couple weeks
Ah,
before the PA show, and I saw
yeah.
the content. I was like, oh my goodness, I just missed it. But this was in January, the
Yep.
PGA show. Talk about your experience there at the PGA show, about what it was, and
Yeah.
the networking. Again, talking about brands, and they had a fashion show, and
Yes.
I mean everything you get, media, everything you probably could imagine if you love the game of golf. It was at
Hmm.
it was at this show.
It was. When you go there, it's bigger than you can ever envision. I mean,
Hmm.
it's at the Orlando Convention Center, and every time I've gone, you're just blown away with the size of it.
Yeah.
Now, I stepped back from going for many, many years. The last time I had been there was back in, it was either 2007 or 2008. And I
Wow.
was playing professional golf, and I was working with a company as I was advertising their product at the time. And so it was big then. But the one thing I will say that just completely was so neat to see, especially on the women's side, is women are obsessed with this game, and it is growing like crazy. And so you are having the apparel. Back in the day, I used to have to wear cotton shorts up to my waist,
Right.
down to my knees. The clothing that they're coming out with is so fun because women they love things. They love
Yeah.
nice things. They love to look good. They love their shoes to match. They love the hats to match. They love the bags. So the endless amount of companies that have joined in to make so much more accessible to women out there for the sport, beginners to advanced. That was just mind blowing to see. So we had a chance to have a lot of meetings with the people that are actually the CEOs of the company and the presidents to hopefully be working with them in the future. We have established quite a few partnerships already with SGS, but we want to bring the best to the best for our clients and our members out there with the women's apparel and everything equipment. It was really neat to be involved and see everything, and the content. People are very much there's so much you can do with advertising for these companies by just being
Yeah.
down there. That's really another side of the world that's it's evolved since 2020.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
yeah,
2020, that was a whole other
yeah,
whole
yeah.
other thing that was going on in 2020. But how it has continued to keep growing, as you said, with it. Someone said it was like Super Bowl media role. It's like the golf Super Bowl
Yeah, it was.
of like a media role, because he said it was content creators, it was media, it was, you said, professionals. It had a little bit of everything,
Hmm.
advertising, and a lot of brands were there, and clothing brands, and different things. It just seemed like it was such a. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to try to go one of these years, and
Yes.
just to soak it all in.
Yes, definitely. If you're down there, it's always right towards the end of January, but it's definitely, if you are in golf, even if you're not working on a company level, you can actually um, go in there and access. I believe they have it to the public on certain days later in the week, but
Yeah.
it's spectacular. It really is. It's an event that if you want to do something in the game of golf and meet the people you need to meet, you need to be there.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like you said, it's like this. Like I said, it's like this. It's like the Super Bowl media role. It's like that's
Yeah.
who's who is there to network and everything too. That
Well,
seemed
and
like
the fun part was is we were just launching SGS that
yeah,
month. So
Right.
going there and just talking about this company that we've created, the feedback that we got was just astronomically supportive, and they were all in. And if you know business, sometimes it takes time for everything to evolve and everyone's busy, but you made those connections, you have follow-ups, and it's just a matter of them either joining or partnering with us. So it was a really neat experience.
Yes, it's
Mhm.
definitely seemed that way. So that's really it seemed like I said, it seemed like a really great show that they put on as well. So looking forward to
Also, I
seeing
had
it.
the chance to have a little bit of time with some well-known people down there that we ran into at the PXG. They had a happy hour, so we were able to have a great moment talking with Christina Kim for a little bit, and also saw the housewife, the which was she's a who. If you want to laugh.
You need those you need those moments too. And
Mhm.
again, it's the part of the community.
Yeah.
That's great. And you see a lot of content creators there that is in golf, as you said. The women's game is just evolving and exploding. Women's sports in general is great. It's great to see as well. The investment
Mhm.
is making it grow for sure. All right, got a few fun topics, and then I'll
Mhm.
let you go. If you could play 18 holes anywhere in the world,
Uh,
where would it be, and who would be the four players on your team?
I had to think about this for a minute. It is a hard question. But I went back to kind of the reason why the game of golf still just it gets me when I think about it. And it comes
Yeah,
back to my family roots. I grew up, again, I had two brothers, and my youngest brother actually is a phenomenal golfer too. But
yeah.
we used to have a foursome. I had my younger brother, I had my father, and I had a really close uncle. And I go back to the days where we all lived in one state together. And now we live all across the United States. So there was a time where we would wake up and we would always play on Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings, depending on the day. And we might not be the best foursome out there. We might not be the ones that are up at the top of the leaderboard, but we're always playing for ice cream. We were always having a good time, and
Yeah.
we'd make an event out of it. So those special moments that we had, I'd love to have us all together again. And on my bucket list, I don't have to travel across the oceans, but on my bucket list is to play Pebble Beach someday. So
Mm.
that would be where it's at. I know there's a million courses, and I really had to think about this, but someday I'll get out there and we'll make that happen.
Yeah, Pebble Beach historic course, and
Mhm.
as you said, and then bringing it back. I love the answer to that, by the way. Bring it back to the family, to the family roots
Mhm.
as well. So yeah, from the beginning, you're like, hey, this is my foursome, and we'll take down a tournament together at
Yeah.
Pebble Beach. I love that. I really do. That's a really good answer on that. Next question is, what is one question you get asked most often that you wish golfers would stop worrying about?
You know what? This was another one I had to think about because um every golfer, they come to me and I always start out our lesson, we get to know, or maybe I already know them, but it's always about, so tell me about your weakness, tell me about your strength, okay?
Yeah.
And I kind of get to know them a little bit on that side. But I think the thing is they get so focused on what they're doing wrong.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to redirect them to what is good with their game. What are the strengths in their game? I want to try to encourage them to focus and, like I said before, soak that in. So they're always looking for more power. That was one, and that's a realistic thing. They want to bring power to the game, but then I'll say, well, how much practice are you putting in? Well, so I think all of
Yes.
it stems from, if you really want to improve in this game, lessons are an amazing thing to get involved with, but you have to put in the time, just like anything you do in life. I don't have the magic pill to give you and say, here's more power. But
Yeah.
I do have drills you can do. So I think it's more, I want to get better. Okay, well, I know you want to get better, but what steps do we need to do to get better? And
Yeah.
number one is you got to put in the time.
Put in the
It is
time.
part of it. Yep.
Absolutely. That's anything in life. If you don't,
So I don't
yeah.
I don't know if I actually answered your
No,
question
no,
because
that's a good.
I didn't have like one specific one that popped up, but it's always
Yeah.
about I want to improve. Okay, well, let's figure out. I don't get sick of hearing it, but it's common, because everyone wants to get better.
Yeah, yeah, and anything. Yeah, like you said, anything in life you want to get better at, especially something that you're passionate about. You gotta, like I said, got to get the reps. You gotta,
Hmm.
just got to get better. How do I get better? If like you said, if we had a magic pill or something, we'll all be. We would never have to learn anything. But like you
Yeah.
said earlier, you're learning something new all the time. So and it's good to, you said, to keep working on the craft that you are excited about, to improve on, again,
Mhm.
evolve. We used that word earlier. It's always about evolving, but you got to practice. You have to practice.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, last one. Question is, since it is Women's History Month, and
Mhm.
I wanted to highlight you, and I like I said, I really appreciate the time
Yeah.
and everything too. But Women's History Month, what does that mean to you on a personal and professional level?
Okay. So a personal level I'll start with. My mother, she loves sports. She's like me.
Mhm.
She's your biggest fan out there. She's also very amazing in the music world too. But to go back to her high school days, she always said I would have loved to have been able to play golf.
Mm.
So she didn't have a high school team at that in those years. They didn't have women's sports in high school at that time. That's how she actually got involved with music, and she ended up writing 2 songs, and now you can find her on Spotify. She's like
Oh
a whole
wow.
nother podcast,
Yeah.
okay?
Yes. Yes.
but
Yes.
but so on a personal level, seeing how it evolved in the women's world of golf. Seeing how in 1950 the LPGA, that was when they first began, and so that was the start of really women's golf starting. But still, you had the Title IX when it came in, and all of a sudden now they had to make men and women have equal opportunities to play in school.
Yep.
Back when I was in college, people would say, well, you should get your daughter into, or back when I was getting into college, they would say, there's so many scholarships in golf that go unused. They don't go anywhere. Well, it's changed because one, women's sports is huge, because if you look back at the statistics of the Title IX prior, there in the beginning there was only 30,000 women that were playing at the college level.
Mhm.
Now there's like 200,000. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Yes.
it's astronomically different. Women's history on that level, for us to have the opportunities to really take this sport to a competitive level. And then as far as here in Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh is the state of Pennsylvania is very enriched with a lot of history in women. We have Carol Simple Thompson. She's one of the most decorative amateurs in of all time. She lives here locally. The things that she's done for the sport, the history that we have in Oakmont, being able to host events in the women's industry at Oakmont, LPGA Open, US Open. So things on the level where the sport is just continuing to grow. We're at the highest percentage that the sport has ever had with women being involved, and that filters down to the juniors. Like my daughter, just hearing me talk about the things that I've done in the sport, she's like, "Mom, I really want to play in a tournament this year. I really want to get going with the game of golf." So, by seeing that my mom never had the opportunity, and now fast forward, I had the opportunity because of the women in this game and how our world has grown to make women's sports at an equal level. My daughter at her age now has endless opportunities to, work
Yeah.
hard. And if she pursues anything in athletics, the door's open for her. So there's definitely a lot of levels there that are near and dear, that women just, if you want to put in the work, the opportunities are there and the doors are open.
I
Mhm.
love that. I
Mhm.
love it. It's amazing. As we talked about, women's sports continue to keeps growing, and it's just I mean, it's always, like I said, it's been there. It's been there.
Yeah.
It's just it's great to see continuing to explode, continue to evolve, continue to continue to just investors and
Hmm.
everything, putting in networks and putting in that time for it to continue to grow, and especially the game of golf, women's golf. It's amazing to see.
I read one stat yesterday because I was doing a little bit of research before I got on the show because I wanted to make
Hmm.
sure that I covered some of this area of the women's history. But um, they were saying, and I wrote this down, and I couldn't believe it, and that's why we saw when we were down at the PGA show is women. Let me find where I wrote that down. Women spend the amount of money they spend on apparel equipment
Hmm.
for golf. I think it was 2 billion. Wait, 2 billion, 2 billion annually a year.
Wow. Wow. Yes. 2 billion. That's with a B.
I think
Not
that's
that's
what
a
I wrote
B.
down.
Yeah, 2 billion.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So if it's not, if there's no investment, that should speak volumes. So that women are very involved in the game of golf, like you
Hmm.
said, equipment, fashion, it's just in general business, everything. It's yes. If that doesn't
Hmm.
speak volumes, then I don't know what does. So
I
yeah,
thought the same thing.
that's huge. Yeah, that is big
Yeah.
for sure. That's a great stat, and
Yes, I was right. 2 billion. I
two
found my
billion,
note. 2
and it's
billion
gonna and it's gonna continue. It's gonna
annually.
yeah, annually, it's gonna continue to keep growing. The trajectory is
Hmm.
gonna continue to keep growing as
Yeah.
well. But that's a great stat, Trisha. This was amazing. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
this conversation and this time. I can't thank you enough for being a part of this my Women's History Month series. I thank you again. I hope we could do this again at
Yeah.
at another time. Now, and when I say when you're on more than once, you're a podcast family now, so you're part of the Real Deal podcast family as well. But again, thank you. Many blessings to you and what you got going on and everything. To look forward to seeing you continue to prosper and grow as well in this industry. And thank you again. But let everyone know where they can follow you and want to reach out to you, get some lessons, all those
Yeah.
things. Let everyone know where they can follow you on social media.
Yes, I'm on Instagram, Facebook. My contact information is on there. You can send me a direct message too. I will get back to you. I just look forward. I don't have a set person that I work with. I love to embrace anybody that comes my way. Whether you're new, whether you're advanced in this game, whether you're 50 years old and just picking up the game for the first time, there's a journey out there in golf and experience, and that's what's so fun about it. Is it's one of the I'll say this. Um, More parents really should embrace getting their children either exposed or into the game because it's the one few sports that you can play until basically you can't walk. So,
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're seeing it with some of the players out there now that they're still out there. As you
Hmm.
said, they're older, senior tours, all these things. Yeah, they can still continue to keep playing
Hmm.
as well. So, Patricia, like I said, I look forward to seeing everything you got coming up, and thank you again as well. And they said, well, hopefully we'll do this again. And again, reach out to Trisha for tips, advice. I always say like, subscribe, share all those
Hmm.
things to our pages as well. So again, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. And I guess my special guest back
And
here.
your special guest back there too. Yes, who sleep and everything. Special guest as well. So okay, enjoy the rest of the week, and
Yeah.
I'll share this content with you in the next day or so, and I'll have like I said, have the clips up, and the video will already be on Facebook and everything too. So again, I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. All right, you
Yeah.
enjoy, and have a good one, and talk to you
Yep.
soon.
Yep. You too. Thank you.
Thank you.